Here we go again. Hey, everybody, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBL is celebrating 50. BronxNet is celebrating 30. But we welcome you. We thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. Welcome to Open. Coming up on today's show, we'll check in with a multi-talented woman whose foundation is uplifting others in more ways than one. After that, we'll hear from a Bronx native off-Broadway poet who is using his talents to advocate for the health of black men. Then we'll speak to a former OGBYN to learn about how she has successfully pivoted from a career in medicine to become a successful lifestyle influencer. And then finally, we'll hear from two dynamic women. They're here in the studio right now. They're going to be shining a light on an AI-powered media and tech company that's changing the game on the job search market. Watch out. Sit back, kick off your shoes, and relax your feet. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and we're wide open. Here we go. There you go. I'm your host, the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS, and you're watching Open. It's a live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set, so all you have to do is stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, our first guest is an actress, producer, model, talk show host, and the founder of Luisa Diaz Foundation. Yeah, she's got it going on, and she joins us to highlight how she is spreading kindness and empowering others. So please welcome to the show, Luisa Diaz. Luisa, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you
¿Cómo?
for the invitation. How are you, Bob?
Good, good. ¿Cómo está? Listen, tell us a little bit about yourself and how it all got started.
Oh, wow. Well, first of all, right now, that's why you see me with the sash. I
Yes.
am the current Mrs. Universe.
Universe! All right. We applaud you. We continually applaud you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And so my work is in philanthropists. I have
Uh-huh.
a foundation that is called Luisa Diaz Foundation,
Yeah.
which is a celebration of kindness. And we just celebrate our 10 years anniversary at the Plaza Hotel. It was a beautiful gala, and we have around 350 people.
Ooh, all right.
It, it was amazing. And what we do in this beautiful celebration of kindness, which
Yes.
is we raise funds for domestic violence survivors and human trafficking.
Wow. That's big because a lot of that is going on behind the scenes and not a lot of people know about a lot of that. And I'm glad there are organizations and people like you who are standing behind it, trying to help that situation out because it's happening and it's
It
happening
is.
all around us.
It is. And my philosophy of the foundation is kindness.
Yeah.
Kindness is cool. So, what I do is to promote kindness. As I mentioned, we really stand for a celebration of individuals who are doing great things in the community and also organizations, because
Yeah.
I do believe in the positive ripple effect. I call it a snowball of kindness. And also, the root of everything, if you think about it,
Yeah.
the root of everything negative in this world is the lack of kindness among ourselves.
Yes.
So that's the reason we have wars. That's the reason we have any type of abuse,
Yeah.
including domestic violence, including human trafficking, um, um, bullying, which is the highest form of domestic violence as well.
Yeah.
So anything negative
Yeah.
to humanity is the lack of kindness among ourselves.
You got to
And
spread that
that's
love. You got to spread that love. And I
yeah,
understand that
it
the
starts with us, Dr. Bob.
yeah.
Should I call you Dr. Bob or Bob?
Yeah. Either way, Dr. Bob, Bob is good. I'm all with you.
Yeah,
It's
it
all good.
starts with us. It really starts with us. There
Uh-huh.
is nobody else, and we need to do our part. It's like sometimes we expect people to do it for us. No, it's not going to happen. And humanity and the world is going to change the
Hmm.
moment that we decide to change, that we decide to really spread love and kindness among ourselves.
Yeah.
That is the moment that things are going to start changing. And even in our relationships,
Yeah.
with our relationship with our loved one, with our friends, and our community, because your behavior has a ripple effect. It can be negative or it can be positive. It all
Exacto.
starts with us and taking accountability
Yes.
and promoting. So, and that's what I'm doing.
There you go. But I've caught wind of it now. The kindness is cool movement. The mayor
Yes.
heard about it too, and he decided to dedicate a day for that. Talk about that.
Yes, due to the philosophy of the Foundation Kindness School,
Hmm.
Mayor Adam on May 18 declared Kindness School Day here in New York City. And we are collaborating with the City of New York to celebrate next year on May 18. Kindness is cool. And we
Uh-huh.
are planning to do a festival
I like it.
to promote kindness, to really encourage the school to be part of it, and also organizations that are working anything that is anti-bullying, anything that is all about kindness, because that's a day that we're going to remind all of us, or that we need to really believe in
Yeah.
each other, and
Yeah.
we need to spread love and kindness toward each other if we really want to make a difference.
Yeah. Do you still
That's
have the Spanish language talk show? And how did that experience shape what you're doing today?
Oh my gosh, the Spanish language talk show, that's a long time. It was like 15 years ago. And I did that when I was in North Carolina. I created the talk show Pure Passion because I want to offer opportunities to the Latinos. They were
Yeah.
living in North Carolina. And I created the first talk show in an American network
All
that
right. Yeah.
NBC and Warner Brother. And
Uh-huh.
when I went there to trying to sell my show, they thought I was crazy because they say, "Excuse me, but don't you see that here we speak English? How can I'm going to have a talk show in Spanish in my network?" And I said, well, very simple, because the buying power of only North Carolina is $8.8 billion. So
Woo!
I got their
You let them know
attention.
about that, didn't you? You said,
Yes,
hey.
and I got that show, and it was very successful, that show.
Uh-huh.
And I got 1.1 rating in that show. So 1 million people were watching the show.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I know you
Yeah, I
have,
did it for 3 years.
yeah. How did that help you with your foundation today?
Well, everything I have done, it has been through the community. So the work I was doing in North Carolina was pure passion,
Hmm.
giving information to the Latin community, because a lot of they were not as privileged as I was. They didn't know how to speak English. They didn't know what to do, how to get involved with the children's education. They didn't even know about by then, like, openly different type of STDs. We have doctors, we have lawyers to talk about immigrations, to talk about the rights. Even though they were illegal in this country, they do have rights as human beings.
Yes.
Um, so it was a show, was a source of information. I will invite, like you are doing right now, I will invite experts in different fields, and we will talk and provide that information today. And it really helped me because everything I have done is pure passion for the community, and
Yeah.
spreading information, because information is power. When you know better, you do better.
Yeah. Can you see the pictures that we are showing right about now?
No?
Oh, you can't see those pictures. There was a big picture of you on stage with thousands of people in the background. I was
Yes,
wondering if you were in Miami or something like that.
that was in North Carolina
North
when I used to
Carolina.
have
Okay.
my television show.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes,
That was a
yes.
pretty big crowd there.
Yes, yes, yes. It was very popular.
Tremendo. Now, you have an annual event built on the foundation of kindness is cool. Talk about that annual MAG Gala event that you have every year.
Yes, the Met Gala is, as I said, is a celebration of kindness, and the Luisa Diaz Foundation is the one that put the event. So we have the Met Gala. Uh, take a May next year is going to be May 6th. May 6th.
May
This year
6th.
was May 15 at the Plaza. Now we're going to be celebrating our 11th years anniversary, Cipriani. So
Oh, okay.
anybody who is listening to us, May 6th, who would like to join and comes to support what we are doing, and this beautiful gala is going to be the Mad Gala is the Mi Amor Graciousness Gala, and it's going to be again a celebration of kindness,
Uh-huh.
and we are going to have the wrong way of hope. The wrong way of hope is what really is a celebration of the survivor that we we work with different organizations. We have worked with Safe Passage Hill, with Sanctuary for Family, with Hope's Door. These organizations have an amazing program working with survivor domestic violence.
Yeah.
At the end of this program, I come. My strength is to remind women that they are beautiful, that they are worthy, and they do deserve to be treated with love, respect, and kindness.
Yeah.
So that's my forte. So when they feeling strong, then we celebrate their courage, their resilience for now open up to a new opportunities. So it's like walking toward the light where fashion meet compassion. And it's a beautiful celebration. You can see the transformation of the women from the beginning to the end. And it's very, very inspiring.
Runway of Hope. Yes. Yes.
Yes, long way of hope. As yes.
Beautiful. That's great. And that's at Cipriani's. It's coming up May 6th,
May 6th, yes,
2025.
at
Yes.
the Met Gala. Met Gala, yes.
So make sure you extend an invitation to us.
Yes, please. And for anybody who would love to join us, my information, I'm sure we are going to give you my website that is luisadiazfoundation.org, and they can keep up with everything that we do.
Yeah. And you work with a lot of celebrities, but you're Miss New York International and Miss Venezuela International at the same time.
Yes. Yeah, well, no.
These are different
No.
times?
Miss Venezuela International was like 20 years ago,
Yes.
over 20 years ago. And then Mrs. New York, it
Oh,
was
yeah, we got
5
the
years
pictures
ago.
here. Beautiful.
Yeah, and now I am at the reigning of Mrs. Universe. Yes, yes. So I'm a pageant girl.
Yeah. And you work with a lot of celebrities, right? Who are some of
We do.
some of the celebrities that you work with? That you have
Well,
worked with?
we work with different celebrities. When I used to have my television show in North Carolina,
Uh-huh.
I interviewed Cristina Saralegui, Jorge Ramos, in the Hispanic community, so you know. A lot of different bands like el Conjunto Primavera, Los Tigres del Norte. They are very famous in the community in North Carolina. Here, I has been working. They has come to my gala different celebrities like Linda Lopez and the sister of Jennifer Lopez, the Vanderbilt family. Also, we have Peter Thomas Roth from the very well-known Skin Queen, Candy Bushner, Julia Hart. So we have we have been so blessed that we have celebrity that love the work that we are doing, and they have come to support us.
Yeah, excellent. What's the main message you would want people to take away about kindness and supporting one another?
I wanted they to know that kindness, it is not a weakness, it is a strength. Like Maya Angelou say, it takes courage to be kind. And so I wanted they to remember that, because sometimes people think that if you are a kind person, you are weak. No, it is weak to react, because all of us, we are human.
Yeah.
But the only difference that it takes between someone that is a little kinder is because that person is controlling herself. It doesn't mean that she cannot react. It doesn't mean that she cannot yell at you. It doesn't mean, no. It means that she has the strength to take that minute
Yeah.
and control herself, because she knows that is not the best to do. Reaction, because reaction, we have another negative reaction. So
No.
and it's not good for our health. And I had to share with you the statistic that has said, the scientific study said that when you give, receive, or witness an act of kindness, your immune system become stronger, and you become
Yeah.
happier. You become happier, and also it helps you to stay healthier
Yeah.
and to live young. So that's my little secret.
So when you give, you get.
Yes,
It's one of the paradoxes of life. You get by giving. It's a circle of
you
love.
you do, because and also when you are not only about giving, um is that energy that you get, that is what who we truly are. I am very spiritual, and I do believe in the universe, and I believe in God,
Yes.
and and I do believe that we have a higher purpose in life.
Exacto.
In our higher purpose in life is to really to share
Uh-huh.
love and to be kind with each other, because that is the secret of everything. And when we realize that, magic happens in our life.
Exacto. 30 seconds. Your book, briefly, where can we get it? Sexy is timeless.
Oh, Sexy is Timeless is an empowering guide for women to never forget that they are beautiful and they are worthy. You
Yeah.
can get it in Amazon, and you can get it on my website, luisadiazfoundation.org.
There she is, Luisa Diaz, actress, producer, model, and founder, Luisa Diaz Foundation. We thank you and we love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and please be kind to yourself and others.
Yes.
Kindness is cool.
Yeah,
Besitos.
that's right. I'll see you later, all right? Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Ciao.
All right, we'll take a quick break. I've got more open coming up next. Here we go. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for checking it out. And welcome back. Our guest is an off Broadway poet. He's from the Boogie Down BX. Give him a big round of applause at home and in the studio, too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And whose name has become well known in the city of New York, the poetry circuit. He's all over the place. And he joins us to shine a light on his passion for poetry and to speak about how he is using his talents to advocate for the holistic health and wellness in our black community. Please welcome to the show, King Kamayera. Yeah.
It's a
The
pleasure
King
being
is
here,
in the
man.
house.
Thank you.
So listen, how did you get started? How did you know that you wanted to advocate for people in our community? But before that,
Yeah.
you said, you know what? Let's get our health. Let me put the mask, like you're in a plane, and
Right.
the stewardess says, all right, if anything happens, if
happens,
there's
yeah.
an emergency, the thing is going to fall, put it on yourself first before you can help others. How did you think that you needed to get involved in helping our community?
Well, one, I think just because of the things I've seen growing up, I think a lot of the time saying just the people I've grown around, the peers and things like that nature,
Yeah.
mental health was never a conversation that was happening, right? It was more so masking it through either sports or, joining the gang, violence, or just bottling it up and then building resentment towards, whatever emotions you feel towards a certain
Yeah.
person. So I feel like me, with poetry, is just an avenue for me so I can advocate for the people that go through that. And,
Yeah.
and I'm a person that just went through those struggles themselves. So I believe, my message is to, make sure it's easier for the next generation, right? I think now, Generation X and, millennials, we have this duty, I feel, to unlearn certain behaviors that we have been cemented in us, from either households or what we've seen. I think it's just very imperative for someone who has a talent or voice to make sure they're impacting it with a change.
Yeah, you can read that upside down, right? What were your struggles like? Explain that.
Yeah, very shy kid growing up. I didn't, I always felt my feelings were always put last, right?
You were trying to find yourself.
Yeah,
You was inside, you were an introvert.
Right, very introverted,
Yeah.
People pleaser, wanted to make sure everyone around me was okay. I'll put myself last, my feelings didn't matter at all. And, that bled into a lot of the relationships I had, whether it was platonic or intimate relationships. And I saw a lot of the, having conversations with my therapist, I saw a lot of the things that were going against myself, which is like betraying myself. And I knew I wanted to change that, right? I think from 16, 17, 18 years old, you notice these things about yourself, but you don't really, point into anything or even like diagnose yourself, right? I remember like when I was young, my hands used to always get sweaty and clammy when I meet new people, and I didn't know that was anxiety at the time, right? So I think at this time, growing in my 20s or like my late 20s now, I believe,
old man now?
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying? Gray hair's coming in and everything. But I think it's important to just let people know that, all those things don't make you any different. It just makes you human, right? We all have our struggles and things of that nature. So, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's all stressful growing up and you're wondering, what's my purpose in life?
Right,
Why am I here?
Exactly.
You look in the mirror and say, who is this person?
Right, exactly.
Why am I sharing in this space and time with people?
Yeah,
But then you start putting two and two together and things start building upon what your beliefs are, what you need to build your family, your community, your country, and all those things. You start looking at all those things. And now you're not as nervous about it as you used to be, right?
I mean, I was nervous coming up to this interview, but no, not at all. I have a voice, I have a purpose, and I have people who have told me, hey, that poem or, you saying that in between your poem has changed my life or impacted me, you know what I'm saying? And that means a lot. And, I have this talent, but this talent is just an avenue for me to, advocate for the things that I care about.
You're moving the needles.
I'm trying my best, you know what I'm saying?
So are you going to kick a piece of poetry for us later on? Maybe?
Oh, man, I got you.
You got
a little something, I got you. Yeah.
So some of the places that you performed at, talk about it.
Yes. So I started off my career at Poetry Me Please. That was my first show at Bombay Theater out in Queens. Shout out to Rush the Mic.
There you go.
That was in front of 100 people. I stumbled on a piece or two,
but
then, but ever since that, show, I was able to go to the New York Poets Cafe. I won about like seven or eight slams over there, Bowery Poetry. I even, explored outside of New York City. I've been to Philadelphia, Charm City Slam down in Baltimore, Maryland, right about now stage in Houston, Texas. So, I've been
like you smooth things out a little bit. Because when you stumble, it's a step. It helps.
Right, it's a step. Yeah.
It helps because it stays with you for like a couple of days, maybe a week or two. So, I could have done this better. I'm gonna fix this.
Yeah, it's like a baby trying to walk, right? The baby's gonna fall down a couple times, but they're eventually gonna get the steps, right? And I think with poetry myself, like the mistakes I've made, is just kind of like a stepping stone to the success I want to get to, or my next mountaintop I want to get to. So,
now you can walk with confidence. You can bop a little bit.
Right,
you got swag.
Right. got the jean jacket. We twinning this stuff like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it took a long time. It's not an easy process. It took a long time for me to get here, and I still feel like I have some healing and some things I have to get through.
Always. It doesn't stop.
It doesn't.
There's always
it doesn't.
some things that you need to correct, some things that you want to touch on, and
exactly.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
But you are advocating for mental health in our Black community.
Right. Which I think, again, growing up, there was a lot of stigma around mental health, and even like coming from an immigrant household, right? I was born and raised in the South Bronx. My parents did come from Mali. Therapy and stuff like that wasn't talked about, right? Even sometimes having conversations like, hey, you should, try to check out therapy, because I feel like my parents and my just families, aunties, uncles went through a lot of trauma. Yeah. And a lot of the times, just like what happens at home stays at home, or like you just bottle it in, and then, you know what I'm saying?
And that stigma is strong, but what's happening is that you're holding that in.
Right, exactly.
That affects you even more.
Exactly.
So you need somebody to talk to you. You need to get it out.
Yeah, and then sometimes I feel like too, you know, growing up as a kid as well, like you have a lot of stuff around you, like that cultivates your identity. So like back when I was in, you know, back in middle school, right? Hip hop culture was kind of like, nah, you got to be tough, be a man. There was never like hip hop artists being as vulnerable or as open, you know? So when you hear these things, either from entertainment or seeing in your livelihood or even in your household where there's not clearly that safe space for you, right? It's like you have to find a way to kind of like grow out of that, unlearn those behaviors. A quote that I live by, right, is like, you know, you cultivate your identity, all these things, so from like 18 years old. By the time you turn to like your mid-20s, you have to do a job of unlearning a lot of behaviors that have been cemented in you. So, you know, and the only way we can do that is create spaces for that to happen.
Do you help yourself out by writing about some of the things that bother you, like some of your fears? Some people tackle their fears by putting it out there. I'm fearful of this. Let me do it.
Right.
You know? And that's one of the ways how you can you can get over it. But do you write your poetry based upon that?
Yeah. So my poetry is based on, like you said earlier, like, you know, the holistic mindset, the mind, body, soul of the Black community. Yeah. You know, not only the activism part, but the vulnerable parts that, you know, we're afraid to speak about. Again, right, I look up to a lot of artists that themselves, like they have that element in their art form where like being vulnerable or telling their own story is something that is not, it's something they're not afraid to, you know, express. So for me, I've learned to use writing as an outlet to, you know, make that's my safe space. Before I go out into the world, that is my safe space. And when I bring that into the world, you know, it just translates in different art elements.
Do you speak about healthy eating, healthy living, and all those things?
You know, I'm eating my greens. You know, I'm drinking my water. You know, but I think that's also another conversation in our community that needs to happen more, right? About diet and, you know, things that you consume, not only from the outside world, but what you put into your body. So you know, my next book might be about that. Who knows? You know,
maybe about that. Right. You're speaking about the book. That's it right there.
Yes.
Talk about it.
Yes, my first book, Love Chronicles, Volume 1. A lot of people in the poetry space.
There it is. Look.
Right. There we go. Yeah, you know. A lot of people in the poetry space, you know, I built a reputation talking about, you know, activism, right? And, you know, saying persona poems and, you know, kind of just be loud and brash about the stuff that I go through. But also, so for this, I wanted to challenge myself and bring it back to the roots, right? This is a poem not about just only love from a relationship standpoint, but self-love, right? A lot of the times, like I said earlier in this interview, I dealt with a lot of neglecting myself. And I speak about that in this book as well. And, you know, just more so, I want a reader, when a reader reads this book, I want them to see like, okay, like the evolution towards self-love is never going to be a linear process. You're going to go through your ups and downs. You're going to have your peaks and values, you know? So it's more, I think the most imperative thing for me in this book that I want someone to take from it is like, you know, I also go through this stuff as well. Like it's a normal thing. And I think we should embrace that more rather than hide from it.
It's normal. You're going to do those ups and downs.
Right.
The weather's not the same every day.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it was 80 degrees like last week. You know, now it's 55 degrees, and the next month, we don't know. So
we change like the weather.
It fluctuates. Yep.
So you want to kick something for us?
Oh man, I'll kick a little something.
Spit 16.
No, 16. Oh man, okay. This is just a short, you know, mental health piece that I got. It's called Mental. It's actually going to be on my upcoming album titled Blackberry Molasses.
Watch out!
Right,
you heard it. You heard it first right here. What's the name of the album?
Blackberry Molasses.
Oh,
spoken word album.
Check it out. Check it out.
Coming out and beginning of 2025, hopefully. I tend to listen to my inner voice more than the outside world. Tone deaf to my success, but all ears to my distress. All this anxiety has a brother's thrust. My ego is telling me 1,000 ways on how to think of myself less. My problems cost a fortune and my therapist got me in debt like goddamn. They tell me to get better help, but my past so dirty, even Mr. Clean couldn't wipe this mess. You tell me what's worse than living a life full of regret. Yeah, and then, you know, that's all I got right now. Yeah,
love it. I'm loving it. Where are you performing next?
So next,
check you out.
So I have, I'm actually a part of a collective called the Dope Poets, and we have a show coming up November 22nd. It's going to be in Brooklyn. It's going to be a Black Men Right Showcase. So again, it's about displaying vulnerability and, you know, just a bunch of Black men who are talented writers. These people are not only my friends, but I'm fans of them myself. And it'll be a beautiful showcase, a beautiful night. We'll be also having like bi-monthly events. So November we'll have an event, and then, you know, February, and then, you know, April when it go also. So, and also I'm also planning on, you know, curating my own poetry, I guess, platform called the Poetic Oasis, where I have not only poetry showcase, but also formulating workshops where we have conversations diving into mental health and things of that nature. So so it's a lot coming up. You know,
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Website.
Website is to come. It's going to be called kingkamayera.com. And also, you know, you can follow me on Instagram though. Instagram right now is kind of where I have all my information on my link tree. It's at, you know, king.kamayera. Once again, that's king.kamayera, king.kamayera. And you can find all information for upcoming events, shows, and things of that nature. Yep.
Oh, he's got it going on. The king is in the house. King Kamayera, all right? Poet and advocate for mental health. We appreciate you, man. We'll take a break. I've got more coming up next. It's open. And welcome back. Our next guest is a former OGBYN, and she turned lifestyle influencer, and she joins us to speak about what inspired her career pivot. Please welcome to the show, Jeannie Jacobs. Jeannie is in the house.
Hi.
Jeannie's out of the bottle.
Yep, I came out that bottle quick.
There you go. Jeannie, where are you located? Are you in New York City?
No, I'm in Houston, Texas.
All right, all the way from Houston, Texas.
Yes.
Jeannie, tell us a little bit about yourself and what led you to your decision to pivot from a career in the medical field to become a lifestyle influencer.
Well, 3 years ago, I stood up and walked out the hospital. Yeah, it was pretty dramatic, I guess, for most people. For me, I was like, no, this is time. What made me really, I guess, put me over the edge was sitting in labor and delivery. A 31-week pregnant woman comes in positive for COVID, hypoxic. She could not breathe. Her baby wasn't breathing, looked horrible on the strip. She refused care. Yeah. She, you know, assaulted me and the staff physically and verbally. Everything was a hoax. She wasn't getting vaccinated. She wouldn't wear her mask. She had a poor outcome.
Yeah.
During that moment, and our baby too. It was pretty sad.
Wow.
But during that time, I sat there and I said, why am I doing this? Why am I giving my time to people who really don't care for themselves or other people?
Yeah.
You know? And at that point, at that time I was part-time, so I wasn't working full-time, and it was becoming more of a full-time job. And I just knew I needed to be in an environment where I was respected, other people were respected, cared for, that was supportive, and that people really cared about for themselves, you know, and cared about the standard of care of medicine, wanted to really be helped and not abuse the system. So at that point, I stood up and I remember walking to the call room, and I knew that some of the nurses could see it in my face because at that time, I think everyone was kind of just fed up. And I just called my supervising physician. I said, hey, I'm not coming back. I'm just not coming back. And, you know, I think he kind of had a clue because they asked me to help. You know, it was becoming a full-time job. And he heard through the grapevine instantly what had happened. And, you know, after a few moments of him, like, I guess, swearing and just having a fit and telling me I would never work in this hospital again. And I'm good. I'm never going to work in this hospital. I'm not going to work in any hospital. I'm not going to work anywhere. I'm going to be abused. And I stood up, walked out the doors of labor and delivery. And as I was walking, I was throwing away my doctor's coat, my badge, and everything else. And I got in my car and I flew down the interstate, and I never looked back. And I have no regrets whatsoever.
Yeah, I know a few people who have stories like that. I have one. You know, after doing a tour of all the colleges and universities on the DJ side and visiting those college radio stations, I was working for this printing firm. And when I got back, I was snowed in at Oswego State University. When I got back, I said, you know, this is it for me. I'm not doing this anymore. I found other things. I found my interest is here now. And I did the same. I'm leaving. Oh, you're not going to be anything. Blah, blah, get the hell out of there. I was taking my stuff out of the locker, and these guys was following me around on top of me and everything. I just threw my
Yes.
stuff in my car and I got out of there. So yeah, I can identify with you.
Yes. Yes. And that
Yeah.
was the best thing ever, because from that point on, I found me, the clarity and purpose was there in
Yeah.
life. And since that point, I was, I'm able to be my authentic self, be just Jeannie, and live the best life I can live. And it has been spectacular so far.
The
And,
genie came out of the bottle.
yeah, I did.
Well, and was that a difficult process for you?
No, not at that moment. And I think the reason is because over time, medicine has become pretty much not the best profession.
Yeah.
We have corporate America telling us how to take care of patient, what the standards of care should be. We have politicians now, look at Roe v. Wade, telling us who are doctors how to take care of a woman and her baby.
Yeah.
And they have no medical training at all. So what we're seeing more women dying, we're seeing more babies dying.
Yeah.
It's got to give. We have people who read Dr. Google, who won't read the facts,
Right.
who think Dr. Google is everything and vaccines are horrible and this and that is horrible. It's just not a good profession right now. You spend so much time, years studying, you
Yeah.
give up so much. I mean, I miss a whole bunch of weddings, baby showers,
Yeah. You put a
dinners.
lot into it. All the years of studying and internships and all of that stuff.
Exactly. A lot went into this education.
Mm-hmm.
And, for me to just give myself to people who really don't care for themselves or
Yeah.
me as a human being.
Yeah. Well, what can you tell us about your brand, Pivotal Movement?
Well, pivotal moments came out of
Moments.
that. I did. I made a big pivot.
Yeah.
But pivotal moments celebrates the joys and challenges of life.
You could throw that in there too. It's a movement.
It is. I could.
Yeah.
It certainly does. And, it became my first product from that was Luminosity,
Uh-huh.
which was my first home fragrance or my candle. And that light, the light from candles, that is the clarity and purpose that I saw. We all have that light inside of us. Sometimes it may be a little dim, but it's there, it's burning. You just have to tap into that light and find that clarity and purpose in life and move forward. Once you find that clarity and purpose, you're able to be your most authentic self and live your best life and do great things that you never thought you could do. You can tap into those skill sets that you have and build new ones
Yeah.
and move forward. And people are so hung on to their identities of who they are, who they study to be, who their professions have created. They neglect that light that shines within all of us.
Yeah. How supportive has your family been?
My family has been pretty supportive. I have to say, my husband, it's kind of funny before, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years before I actually walked out the door, he kept saying like, babe, we're okay. You can pull back, you can stop, you can do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
But again, being the woman, the professional woman working hard, have done so much in life,
Uh-huh.
you actually give up that mantle right off the bat, right? You
Mhm.
feel guilty about it. People make you feel guilty about that as well. But you have to kind of toss those things aside and move and do the right things for yourself. My children absolutely adore it. They have fits. I kind of teased my son a few weeks ago. I said, listen, I think I'm gonna go back to work.
Yeah.
Well, he fell out. His friends fell out. He said, wait a minute, what about school? Who's gonna bring us to school? Who's gonna do this for us?
Yeah.
And the food.
There was no one in your family or in your circle saying, hey, what the hell are you doing?
I'm quite sure the people who did support them,
Uh-huh.
people talk, but they won't say it in front of your
They won't
face.
say it. Yeah.
Right. And to me, that's not my business. You can say what you want to say, but I'm going to do what I'm going to
Could have
do.
been the talk of the town. You know what she did? Yo, she quit the business.
Oh yeah, I'm quite sure. I
Now
know I'm
she's
still
selling
there.
candles. Dude, can you believe it?
She's nuts. No, I'm not.
You
You're
know
nuts.
what you want to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So how do you put it all together now? You have a number of things, the role that you play, and you have content creation and the whole nine that helps you get the things that you need. Talk about that. Because
So
you're putting together something that deals with the content creation.
yeah, I create a lot of content. And
Yeah.
for me, my content is pretty easy. It's pretty authentic. It's all about what I do, just being me. You
Yeah.
know, the recipes. In fact, I'm working on a recipe,
Uh-oh.
a book right now, or a coffee table book full of the recipes that I've created and that people tend to adore. And, putting in those tips, showing you how to live your best life, be efficient with it, and then enjoy it. And that's what that book is going to be about.
Uh-huh.
Traditions. Um,
Is that the second book, or because you have one out, right?
no, I don't have one out yet. I'm working
Okay.
on that first book. So
Okay. I
actually
guess I'm ahead of you.
chapters. Well, hey, we'll see what happens in the spring and early summer.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah,
the 1-2 punch.
exactly. And got a lot of cool things coming up. I just signed a brand deal
Uh-huh.
with Gabrielle Maison. It's a French luxury spice company, and I will be doing some work with them and curating my own boxes of
All right
spice
now.
things that people can use, and
Uh-huh.
it will also include some of my own personal recipes as well. So I'm very excited about that. Um, in the first quarter of this next year, I'm going to be actually collaborating with Forbes Riley.
All right.
She's QVC queen, so
Uh-huh.
she'll be promoting my home product lines from Pivotal Moments. So that's very exciting. So never thought that would happen.
So, but you still have the luminosity candles and all that stuff. That's
Too.
very popular, right? What made it so popular?
Luminosity is my hero candle, and
Mm-hmm.
that is the fragrance that Forbes Riley is going to be focusing on.
Mm-hmm.
Luminosity is everything. That is my light. That showed me my clarity and purpose, and it's definitely inspired by this little light of mine. I've sung this song since I was a little girl, and I
This
still,
little light of mine, I'm
yeah,
gonna let it shine. Yeah.
that's great. Hide it on a bush? No, I'm going to let it shine. And that phrase is so important.
Beautiful.
So luminosity, it does. It symbolizes the joys and the challenges of life.
Uh-huh.
The notes, the lemon in that candle, people don't understand, but that's the clarity and purpose.
Yeah.
It gives you that clarity and purpose, that lemon. The lime is the zest of life. The bergamot, oh my gosh, the bittersweet moments in your life represents that.
So, how many fragrances do you have?
I have a total of 6 now.
All right.
Today on my site, and if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see my 12 days of cyber sales. So each day for the next 12 days, you'll be able to purchase the products, of course, on sale. And I'm excited about it. So this is my first Cyber Day sale. Today we're actually featuring right now a seasonal favorite. So 3 candles at a great price. So you can treat yourself, or you can
Yeah.
purchase those candles and give them out to friends and family, even colleagues. We have corporate gifts as
Jeannie,
well.
Jeannie, what do you have under your tree?
Under my tree, nothing right now. I'm putting up trees. The one behind me is the tree in my
Yeah.
husband's study.
Yeah.
And
You have all those things that you mentioned and more.
yes, under that tree, yes, under the store tree.
Yeah.
This tree, we got work to do.
That's
When I'm
okay.
we're actually creating content today on how to curate your own beautiful Christmas trees.
Well, the
So
way you build things, I'm sure you'll have no problem with that one right there. It looks beautiful.
thank you.
So,
So,
what's next for you? You got your 6 candles, your 6 different fragrances, and
and I'm burning one of them now. This
well,
is
just
very.
send a couple up here. We can burn them right here on this table.
I should send them to you.
Yeah.
And they're non-toxic, so you shouldn't have any
I,
allergic reactions or.
oh, I could have used it today. But that's all right. You'll come back live, and or you send us some, and then the next time you come on, we'll burn them right in the
Yes,
studio.
yes,
And
exactly.
you know, when you said this little light of mine, one of the major lights in here, I don't know if you saw it, but it said, so you have another idea coming. It's powerful. It's going to be big.
Yes, yes, I do.
Give us
So
your
that's
website and everything.
my website is justjeanniejacobs.com. The site for my home fragrance line is Pivotal Moments by JJ. And you can find both of my brands on Instagram at Jeannie Jacobs. And you can find my home fragrance line with all the beautiful sales at Pivotal Moments by JJ. And I'm also on TikTok as Just Jeannie.
There you go, rocking it from the doctor's office. Dr. JJ, Jeannie Jacobs, lifestyle influencer. She's got so many things going on. Thank you so much, Jeannie.
Thank you.
All right. We'll take a quick break. I've got a whole lot more coming up next on Open. Here we go, here we go, here we go now. Just to throw your hands in the air, waving like you just don't care, like a Ginger Rogers and a Fred Astaire. Let me hear you say, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Welcome back. Our last guests are the founder and CEO and the head of events and community of HUE Capital. And they are here with us today to shine a light on the work that they are doing with the AI-powered media and tech company. It's a beautiful company, and they're going to be talking about so much more. Please welcome to the show, Jerlisa, Juju. They call her Juju. What's that other name?
Jerlisa's my first name, and my nickname is Juju, but I did tell you a secret.
You did.
I did tell you a secret, and my family nickname is Jerl.
She said she wants to get it out there.
I was like, oh, I'll get it out for you. I'll get it out for you.
All right, you get it out. And Fontaine.
He's so funny.
And Magic Washington, welcome to the show,
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you for having us.
Juju Fontaine. Listen, you guys are so, and I saw you watched everybody come on, and you guys were just checking the whole thing out. Now you're experts, right? So I can just sit back, fold my arms, kick off my shoes, and relax my feet, and you guys can just go for it, right?
Yeah. So,
Tell us a little
welcome to my show.
Tell us a little about yourselves and what you do.
For sure. So I'll start off. My name is Jerlisa Fontaine. Everybody calls me Juju, as mentioned. Founder and CEO of HUE Capital. HUE Capital is actually two things. So primarily, we're a professional network. We cater to people who are professionals in corporate, but also people who are early stage founders. But in conjunction with that, we are an AI-powered career platform. We have this tool called HUE AI, and the whole point of HUE is to basically be your career and business advisor. So there are so many people out there who are honestly trying to find help with career pivoting, starting a business, getting promoted, and they don't have access to funds to get that kind of help. So HUE Capital is solving that problem. I'm from the Bronx, New York.
Boogie down,
Uptown,
BX.
baby, uptown. We're talking about Boston Road, Eastchester, Allenton, Burke, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, they're going to love you.
Oh, they're going to love you. Come on, y'all. Bronx through and through, Bronx through and through. And I also went to DeWitt Clinton High School.
There you go, DeWitt Clinton.
Down the block.
Yeah, I jumped in front of the high school with the WBLS van and put you guys on the radio and all that stuff. Magic, how did you jump in?
Yes, so my name is Magic Washington. I am head of events and community for HUE Capital. And like Juju mentioned, all of HUE Capital is, my role is specifically to cultivate those experiences online and in real life, really for professionals and founders, and really just helping people create meaningful connections. That's all of our events. That's what all of our events are essentially about. Similar to Juju, I'm from the Bronx. I grew up uptown, Edenwald Projects.
All right now.
I went to Sousa. I went to DeWitt Clinton, which is actually where we met.
All right.
And then we became best friends. And I also lived in Parkchester for a little bit. So
there you go.
shout out to the 6 line. So I was kind of on
The
both
6.
sides of the Bronx.
Yeah, but listen, AI, nobody knew about AI. Some people still don't know about AI. Now, when did you guys get into it?
Okay, so funny story. Magic will kind of give you guys the origin story of HUE Capital, but as of this year, we had transitioned from being an events company to being an actual tech company. So we actually kicked off our AI journey this year, I want to say late June. And it's so funny talking about AI because people think that AI is just like this horrifying thing that's going to take over the world and humans won't matter, and that's not the case. I can promise you guys that's not the case. But the reality is, though, the people who will flourish in the workforce are people who realize that either you know how to use AI very well, or you're someone who is creating tools that are driven by AI.
Yeah.
If you can do one of those two things, you will be able to find a job.
Yeah, but that's just like when social media first started, you know. A lot of people say, oh, I'll lay on it. But social media came out and people started hiring people who had huge numbers of followers. You know, they didn't have a whole lot of talent in that area. I mean, some people, but they had a huge following. And they figured if I hire those people will come. If I hire that person, those followers will come in and support our company. I know.
Exactly.
How do you know?
I know. I've seen it. Don't start like if you interview me.
So actually, we're going to switch roles now.
No, go ahead. All right.
But no, just to kind of add on to what Juju mentioned, how HUE Capital even got started. What a lot of people don't know is that HUE Capital actually was just a podcast initially.
You see?
Then we kind of turned into throwing in events, which is where I came into play. And one thing about Juju and I, not only are we best friends, not only do we do business together, we also live together. So we are constantly talking to each other on the phone, even though we're in the same house. And you know, one random night, one summer, at like 2 in the morning, we're on FaceTime and we're kind of like, we need to create an event. So for me, when I think about events, what ties me to events is something that I can relate to.
Yeah.
What is nostalgic? So we kind of wanted to create a whole event around something that is nostalgic for people that are in our generation. So I'm like, okay, thinking about games that we played as kids, parties that we went to during college. And then I was like, oh, okay, what about a traffic light party? And for those of you who are not familiar with that is, it's kind of like you wear green if you're single, red if you're taken, yellow if it's complicated. So we were like, okay, a lot of people know what that is, and it's fun and it's relatable, but how can we make this professional? So then we took every color of the traffic light and made it identify with different industries. So you have healthcare and social impact,
cool.
media and entertainment, and business and tech. And that is essentially how HUE Lane, which is our staple quarterly networking mixer, was birthed. So essentially we make networking a lot more intentional by providing attendees with color-coded wristbands and name tags, so that instead of trying to work the room and figure out who here works in media, if Juju has on a red wristband, I have on a red wristband, I know that we work in the same industry and see someone that I need to know.
Exactly.
Should I have on a red wristband also?
You probably should. No, you should have yellow.
Yellow? Why
The
yellow?
media.
Yes.
Media is yellow?
Yeah.
All right.
Media.
I'm catching on.
I love it.
All
You
right.
paying attention?
Well, wait a minute.
Quick learner.
Yeah. The early days of AI, analytics,
So for HUE Capital or just AI in general?
AI in general.
AI, okay, so AI in general is a lot of different things. I think that AI has become more popular because we've been exposed to generative AI. Generative AI is a concept of AI that really promotes creativity. There's a woman, her name is X. She's a popular software engineer in the AI space.
Yeah.
And I feel like one thing that she did very well was helping people understand that you can correlate different types of AI to different types of human senses.
Yes.
So let's say, for example, you're talking about hearing, listening, right? What is some form of AI that we engage with when it comes to technology that has to do with hearing? Can you think of anything?
Siri?
That's right, exactly. So there's Siri and there's
yeah.
Alexa, right?
Yeah.
And that's called natural learning processing. And then you have another concept of it, which is computer vision, right? Where basically AI is able to see your face and identify who you are. That is our sense of sight. So I wouldn't say that AI was only used in the beginning for analytics purposes. AI is primarily driven by data, which is analytics, but you're seeing it applied to so many different areas.
Yeah, well, I only said that because, you know, they started analytics. They tried to find out all about you so they can throw commercials in there.
Yep,
That you,
Ads,
and
all
even
that.
if you say something, you say, well, I was just talking about that. How did that thing know?
They're listening
So
to
I'm thinking
us.
that it's like the early days of AI. So now you go on one of those platforms for AI, you put something in there,
It's called machine learning.
machine learning.
So basically, when you're engaging with platforms, let's say, for example, like a Netflix or social media, what they're doing is they're studying your behavior. They're studying the way you interact with the product so that they can keep showcasing you material that you've been engaging with for the past day, 2 days, 3 days. For example, people will always make a joke and say, yesterday I saw one video of a dog. Then I saw 2. Today on my Explore page, all I see are dogs
Yeah.
because it's trying to give you information that you've been seeking.
And they did that same research in real time in radio too, and other corporations, where they have these gatherings where people come together and you ask them different questions,
Yep.
and they did the ratings that way and all that. But now,
Yeah, AI is everything now. Like
Yeah.
Everywhere.
whatever it is that we can
It's like
do,
analog
AI
and
is
digital,
trying to be
but
that,
yeah.
literally, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm happy you asked that question, right? Because back to Magic's point about us being this in real life and digital platform, inspired by our events was the fact that we should pivot into a tech company because when people came to our events, their biggest concern was 2 things. There are so many amazing people in the room.
yeah,
But there's like 300 to like 500 people in this room.
no way I can speak to everybody.
I can't meet everybody.
Yeah.
That's the first problem. The second problem is people realize that while they're meeting people that they do want to, I guess, be friends with or be coworkers with or be business partners with, they're realizing that, you know, I'm not really sure what to talk about. Like, I feel like I'm pretty good at what I do. I think that I want to grow in my career, but I'm not really good at carrying a conversation because I'm missing this thing called career advisement. So we knew that for us, okay, listen, if those are the 2 problems that we need to solve, 2 things need to happen. The first thing is HUE AI, which is giving you the career advice that you're seeking. But then number 2 is something that's coming up in January of next year, where we will be, if it was a camera, let's see. Matter of fact, where we will actually be relaunching as a professional social network. So exactly. So if you are somebody who identifies yourself as a professional or early stage founder, and you want to be on a professional platform where you have more control over your feed, you have more opportunity to have more intentional conversations, you would come to HUE Capital, the new and improved version of HUE Capital.
And to take
HUE
the
Cap for sure.
HUE Cap.
exactly, we actually call our community HUE Crew as well.
The HUE
The
Crew.
HUE Crew.
HUE
So
Crew.
if you're down with HUE
Say that
Capital,
5
you're
times
part of
real
the HUE
fast.
Crew. HUE Crew, HUE Crew, So I was gonna say, to take the conversation of AI a step further, we actually launched something with our HUE Lane event called HUE Matched.
Yeah.
So essentially what it is,
Whoa, all
whatever email that you use to register for the event, what happens is when you come into HUE Lane, you scan a QR code, and then it'll bring you to a page that says HUE Match. And once you put in your email, it'll do a little and then it'll automatically generate 10 people in the room that share similar interests with you, that may work in your industry, that you need to meet, that are currently in the room. And then once you connect with your 5 people, once you find at least 5 of them, it'll go like, HUE Match. You've just connected with these 5 people. And then it gives you their LinkedIn. So, you know, we're really incorporating AI into every facet of the business.
I like
And then
it.
the one extra tool that we do have that doesn't have AI in it, but it is accessible on our platform, is the tool called Connected. We're connecting you with your professional or career kin, your new career family. And the whole point of it is to expose people to an array of different professional organizations that they might find more interesting depending on what industry they're in. So let's say, for example, if you are like the big doctor over here, right, and you want to maybe enjoy more people who are in the media industry, you would come to Connected, you would use the filters and the search, and you'll be able to find a plethora of organizations that are in the media industry, so you can build community within that space.
I like what you guys are doing.
We're
We
trying.
working, we working, we working.
Add the boogie down BX. AI.
So yeah,
Where do we go to find more information about what you guys are doing? Did you post it up? You put it on the website, social media?
So if you guys want to keep up with us, you can check out our website, which is www.huecapital.co. So not com, that's huecapital.co. You can find us on Instagram at HUE Capital Co. Same on TikTok as well as YouTube.
Yep. And then I'll add on to that, by the way, if you want to be, if you want to receive like early access to any of our events or our resources or our launches, make sure you subscribe on the website. So don't just visit the website, subscribe to our newsletter, or else you'll miss everything.
There you go. I'm loving the way you guys put it all together.
We try.
Thank you, thank
The
you.
AI, you know, although it's the beginning stage, really beginning stages for a lot of people who are just climbing onto it. You guys are into it and you know where it's going, so to speak, and you know what you want to do with it to help it.
Can I make a comment on
Yeah,
that
yeah,
as well? I do want to also mention to people that AI is not as difficult as you think it is. There are different ways for you to get involved in AI. There's a technical aspect where, yes, you are coding, you're building algorithms and et cetera. That is a very hard part, for
Algorithms.
sure. But there are things called no-code solutions, right? So you have these software or these apps or these platforms where you don't have to code AI. You can basically design the flow of the experience in itself, provide it with the content that you want it to basically express to other people, and you can do all of that with no code at all. So if you are someone where you feel like you have a lot of ideas about products that you want to create, you don't necessarily need to be the person engineering it. You can be that person as well. And then one more thing on the non-technical side, government is a really big deal, especially right now. And the reality is there are people who are making policies about the way AI is being used. People will frequently associate that with ethical AI. So if you are someone who doesn't want to build AI, but you want to be able to protect people from AI, then maybe doing policy work and ethical AI is for you.
There you go.
Yeah.
You guys are tech heads. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
and come
you for
back
having
again,
us.
right? Share some more.
We sure
Yes,
will.
yes,
Thank
please
you.
have us,
There you
please have
go.
us.
Jerlisa Juju Fontaine,
That's me.
MPH, founder and CEO, HUE. I'm going to say HUE Cap.
HUE Cap.
Yeah, and Magic Washington, head of events and community. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having
Thank you.
us.
There it is right there. Thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you.
Yeah.
Always remember this, what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. Join our hosts, Kevin Arlene, Darren Jaime, and Rena Valentine on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday for all new episodes of Open. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. I'll see you on the radio. I'll catch you another day, another way. I love you all. Peace.